speaking of a great album that we got this year, The Death of Slim Shady, we've talked about it, we've reviewed it, we've, compared it to some of Eminem's other albums in his discography. Me and you both have kind of agreed that it's pretty solid. Like, we like it. We have it in the perfect album tier. We're both at like 9 out of 10. Like, I'm still at that score. Like, I haven't really fallen off on it. But today, me and you, we took the track list and we ranked our songs favorite to least favorite, worst to best, however you want to phrase it. So we're going to give you our rankings of the Death of Slim Shady track list from worst song to best song. So
I'm excited. Let's do it.
should we start at the bottom and go up, or should we start at the top and go down to the worst?
I don't know. I feel like, well, if they watched last week, they already know what the best song is. I don't really know. What do you think?
Let's start with the best.
All right, we'll start with the best.
All right, so
So, yeah, there's there's one clear answer here for me as to
mhm.
what the best song on the Death of Slim Shady is. Um, it's one of the best songs of the year. We've been waiting on this collab for some years now. Eminem, JID, Fuel, some of the best verses of the year packed into the Eminem album. Um, yeah, that's my pick.
That's my number one as well, but I don't think we'll have too much agreement going forward. But Fuel is my number one as well.
Yeah, so that one was easy. If you watched last week, you knew that was coming.
Exactly.
But all right, now it gets, I guess, a little difficult. Go ahead.
All right, my number two. So I went like two through four, two, three, and four. I really kind of kept switching them around, trying to figure out what I want where. But number two, I went Antichrist. Like, I fucking love that song. Something about it. I'm listening to that the most, maybe even including Fuel. Like, Antichrist is my number two. It's not by a wide margin, but I got Antichrist at number two.
Yeah, I put Evil number two just because that's a song that I've really been fucking with heavily. That menacing flow on the second verse, the flow switches, the menacing beat, talking about shooting up the puppies and shit, which is funny. But yeah, I could give you Antichrist because I guess spoiler alert, that's my number three.
I was gonna say you can lead right into number three. We'll just take turns,
Yeah,
So
Antichrist for me. Um, it could definitely go in that number two spot. That second verse, the second Eminem verse, I think one of the better verses on the album for sure. Maybe one of the better of the year. You got Eminem really tapping into that fast rapping bag, which a lot of people don't like, but he also switches the flow for 3, 4, 5 times maybe on the song. So you get everything. You get the slow, you get the fast, you get the menacing, you get the cocky. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm cool with Antichrist at 3 or 2.
well, number three, I don't have Evil at three. I have Brand New Dance at three. To me,
Really?
this is the most Slim Shady song on the album.
That's
It's like
crazy.
it's like a weird dance song written about Christopher Reeve, who was obviously paralyzed and in a wheelchair and couldn't walk, and it's like a dance song, and he's like, it's definitely a weird, crazy, chaotic, fucked up, trippy, not really
Well,
sure what's
yeah.
going on song, but I fucking love that song. It just reminds me of old Slim Shady. It's like straight off the Eminem show, and I just love Brand New Dance. I got
Well,
Evil at four after that though. Just I got Fuel, Antichrist, Brand New Dance, Evil. That's my top four. So we're not
well,
far off, but
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it makes sense that you say, you know, it takes you back in time because it was actually meant for the Eminem Show or Encore, one of them two albums.
it's that old.
Yeah, he wrote it way back when Christopher Reeves was alive, and then
He
Christopher
wrote it then.
Reeves died, and he didn't put it on the album. Remember, we talk about the whole thing on the Eminem, the Face Off or whatever. So
Yeah,
it makes sense that it sounds the most Slim Shady s to you, but not to me. Definitely not to me. That's further down my list. For
he didn't
four,
record it then though. He just wrote it then. He recorded it recently
he probably, I don't know,
or
probably
re-recorded.
re-recorded. Who
Okay,
knows? Who knows? But
I
number
just
four
love
for
that song.
me is my personal most Slim Shady sounding song on the album, and it's the intro. It's Renaissance for sure.
Yep.
You open up the album and you start off with balls in his do rag, you size fit with no man, sandpan in his hand like Edward Scissorhands. Like it's just that classic Slim Shady Eminem flow. I fucked with it so heavy. Still one of my favorites on the album, and it could be even higher for me. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll
If we
leave it
were
for.
rating songs by Slim Shadiness, I would put that at number 2, behind Brand New Dance. So, because I have Renaissance at 5 after
Right,
Equal.
right.
So, what's your number 5? Just so we're on the same wavelength here.
My number 5 is Toby. Actually, this might be a surprise. I think it's better than
No
the rest of
surprise.
the songs on the album. Uh, I still think Babytron had a great verse, one of the better verses on the song because he opens it up, sets the tone for the rest of the song. Big Sean killed his shit, and then you got the goat spitting about how he's the goat. You know what I'm saying, and how he's influencing the next generation. So I got Toby number 5.
And I love that hook. Like, when Houdini came out, the first single, we talked like, yeah, I like it. It's like a Without Me parody. I get it. This makes sense as a single, but
Yeah.
I fucking hate the hook. And then Toby came out. I was like, okay, this I like the hook. This is a better song. So that makes sense. I have Toby at number 6 after Renaissance.
Okay. So yeah, I guess my number 6 is Lucifer. This is one that could have bounced up a little bit, but to me, I guess the lyrical content in Toby, I feel like is a little stronger with him talking about the mature Eminem spitting, and the features are great. But Lucifer, you got that Dr. Dre production. It's just super solid. The vibe is really unmatched. It's one of the best sounding songs on the album, probably. But yeah, I got Lucifer number 6.
Well, number 7, I don't have Lucifer, but I have Habits. I believe that's featuring White Gold. I kept listening to these songs trying to decide the order, and this could change week to week, but I have Habits slightly over Lucifer to me. I got Lucifer, or nope, I have Habits at 7. I just really like that song. I like the hook there too, the White Gold hook. I like Eminem has a few good verses. Just like sonically and song structure wise, I just think it's a really good song just in general. I like Habits a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's a good song, but it's not quite on the level of this next song for me. Guilty Conscious 2 is my next pick, and I just think the concept it tied the whole album together. You know what I'm saying? And the battle between Slim Shady and Eminem is something we've been wanting for a long time. So I got Guilty Conscious 2 after Lucifer at my 7th spot.
Number 8 is where I put Lucifer. I kind of had that in Habits, kind of flip flopping a lot, but I was kind of decided, okay, I think I like Habits more, but I got Lucifer right after it.
Yeah, I guess my 8 to keep this moving is your favorite song on the album. At least it seems like Brand New Dance. I got at my
Banger.
number 8, right behind Guilty Conscious 2. It's good. Lyrical content isn't really there. Yes, it's nostalgic, but there's better songs on the album.
Yeah, there's two, Fuel and Antichrist.
There's
Oh, no, number 9, that's where we're at, right? Yeah, I just did 8
Yeah, I think
Lucifer.
so.
Number 9, I got Bad One. Love that
Okay.
song. I don't know where it is on your list. I feel like that's like a controversial pick, but I do really like that song.
Yeah, it's definitely lower on my list. Our lists are definitely different here. My next is going to be Habits, and then after that is going to be Somebody Save Me. I really fuck with the Jelly Roll feature. I thought it was good. You got the heartfelt performance. So at my number 9, I got Somebody Save Me.
Yeah, like I do like the songs like that are on the album, like Somebody Save Me, Temporary, like the more heartfelt, meaningful, mature Eminem songs. I do like them, and I'm glad they're here. I think they add to the album. They work to the concept. Like it makes the album stronger. The fact that they're here. Just to me personally, like I'm not going back to them, so it's hard for me to put those songs over some of these other songs. That's just why I have them lower. But yeah, number 10, I have Houdini at number 10. The lead single for the album is my 10th favorite song. I put Houdini at 10.
Yeah, I got Houdini 11. I got Head Honcho at 10 right over it. Um, yeah, I think Easy Mill killed his verse. Eminem did his thing. You already know. Houdini for me,
It's
after
whatever.
especially after the album came out, it's like okay, this is definitely one of the weaker songs because we see what the level of the album is going to be at. You know what I'm saying? There's great rapping on the rest of the album. Houdini, yeah, there's some good rapping, some witty bars, but it was definitely just like a without me, just lose a parody type shit. So I got that at 11.
But it makes perfect sense as a single. Like if I was Eminem and this was the track list I had, I would probably do Houdini as the first single too. Like it does make sense. Get people talking like, "Oh, it's like a Without Me."
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
said
know,
11.
like
I
it
meant
does make
12.
sense. Okay.
But yeah, no, it makes sense as a single, like you said. Yeah, for sure.
Number 11 after Houdini, this is where I put Guilty Conscious too.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
mean,
just not my favorite song wise. I'm not going back and listening to it a lot. Like, I love the concept. I love the original Guilty Conscious, obviously. I would have loved a Dre feature on this to bring it back. Like, obviously, you don't want to just remake the same song twice, but it
yeah.
would have been fun if it was kind of structured the same, but with new verses. But it's still great. I'm still glad it's here. It makes perfect sense. Like, we kind of needed it on the album to explain the whole. It really, like, kind of wraps the whole concept up and, like, clearly explains to you what's going on. It's great. I'm just not going back and listening to Guilty Conscience 2 in my car on a regular basis. I'm just not.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And after that, after Houdini, my 12, I got Bad One. Like you said, it's a good song. I think it is structured well. Um,
I like the
yeah,
hook.
just not quite as good as Houdini, not quite as catchy. To me, I felt like Houdini being the single, yeah, kind of stole the light a little.
Is that the second? That one has the white gold hook too, right? It's Habits and Bad One. Am I tripping? The
No,
second
you're right.
one. Okay, I thought so.
Pretty sure.
Did you have anything else on Bad One?
No,
I
you're
want.
good. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, number 12. This is where I have Head Honcho. Of, like, I don't know, I just don't love this song. Of the songs that aren't like sentimental songs, like it's actually Eminem like rapping, I just didn't really love Head Honcho. I think it's one of the weaker songs. Like, it's still not bad. Like, I do think this album is super strong front to back, but Head Honcho is just not one of my favorites. I got that at 12.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And I guess kind of to top this off, I got Temporary near the bottom here, and then I got Road Rage as my last pick. Temporary, well, I think it's a good song. You know, it's the meaningful message to Haley. I feel like
Yeah.
he's done it better. He's done the same song format in better ways. I've said this kind of before with Mockingbird, When I'm Gone,
Haley song.
um, Haley's song.
I like all those better than this.
Just
That's
not
my
great.
same
It's
reasoning.
just my personal. It's not my personal favorite Eminem sentimental song. But then after that, I got Road Rage to top the list off. Um,
Yeah.
okay verse. I mean, okay verses, pretty decent verses, but the hook is kind of weird. You got to
Yeah.
crash out. It's not. It's kind of weird, but I don't hate it. It's just my least favorite song on the album.
Yeah. So my bottom three: 13, I have Somebody Save Me, the Jelly Roll feature, obviously. And then 14, I have Temporary. 15, I have Road Rage. So, like, we do have a lot of songs in similar spots. We just have, like, a few flipped here and there. Like, they're not super different, but
Yeah, I mean, you got
I, d-
brand new dance high as hell.
I do think Road Rage is the weakest song on the album. And I would still give it, like, a 6.5 out of 10, maybe. 6 to 6.5 out of 10. Like, and that's the weakest song. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
a
mean, I would
great
probably
album.
even still give it like a 7. I mean, he's still spitting. It's just the feature wasn't great, and it just wasn't great. That's all, but it's still a good song.
All right, so real quick, let's get a recap. Give me your The Death of Slim Shady track list ranking, best to worst. How do you rank Death of Slim Shady?
I got Fuel, JID, you know what I'm saying, coming in clutch with one of the best verses of the year. Evil, then I got Antichrist, Renaissance, Toby, Lucifer, going into Guilty Conscience 2. Then we got Brand New Dance, Habits, Somebody Save Me, Head Honcho, going into Houdini, and then to round it off, Bad One, Temporary, and Road Rage at the end.
I mean, we are pretty close. I'll give you mine real quick. So, Death of Slim Shady, best song is Fuel with JID. We agree. I think most people agree. I got Antichrist at 2, Brand New Dance at 3, a lot higher than you, like we said. I got Evil at 4. I love that second verse, and I really love all the verses. So good. Renaissance at 5, Toby at 6, Habits at 7, Lucifer at 8, Bad One at 9, Houdini at 10, Guilty Conscience, Head Honcho, Somebody Save Me, Temporary, and Road Rage. I believe our last two are the same. We both had Temporary at 14 and Road Rage at 15. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm glad we had a little bit of differing. We don't want to have the same exact list, but we're not super far off. Like, I have Brand New
Nah.
Dance pretty high. You have Somebody Save Me a little higher and Guilty Conscience a little higher. But for the most part, we do kind of agree on this, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's clear the top few songs on the album. Everybody knows what the best songs on the album are.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Fuel, Evil, Antichrist, Renaissance.
Yeah.
Those are like the big dogs of the game. You know what I'm saying? So after that, it gets a little more interesting, but good album overall. You know, even Road Rage. It's a good song. So shout out Slim, man. The comeback is real.
It is, yeah. Like you're still at like a 9 out of 10 on the score. That's where
Yeah, I think
it's.
originally I had given it like an 8.5 or something.
I think so.
8.25.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it an 8.5, 8.75 now. I think it's a great album. I've been going back to it a lot. Like the nostalgia is insane. And yeah, I've been waiting for an Eminem comeback for a long time. So
Yeah, I'm still bumping the Death
it's
of Slim
sweet.
Shady every day. Like
It tastes sweet. I'll say that.
if I'm getting in my car and like driving to work in the morning or something, like this is the album I'm still listening to. Like I'm bumping Death of Slim Shady.
It's Off the Top podcast, got you laughing like you hit the gas pack. Show is crazy like you watching Mad Max. Every other podcast is mad whack. Off the Top podcast.